I find that the more crooked you are in the Kenyan political arena, the quicker you succeed. I don't know why. They don't, and I say the electorate seem to want these tainted people. I don't know what's wrong with them. If they have a chance to choose somebody who's straight, who's on the surface of it looks reasonably straight, they're not interested. They want these ones that lie to them, these ones that cheat them, these ones that run. Provided he has bags of money to spread around, they're quite happy.
Orie Rogo Manduli was more than just a fashion icon. She was a bold voice, a champion for women's rights, and a fierce patriot who defended expectations and blazed trails wherever she went. Born Mary Orie Rogo in 1948 in Maseno, Kisumu County, Kenya, she emerged as one of Kenya's most iconic and controversial public figures. Orie came from a distinguished family. Her father, Gideon Rogo, was a principal and one of Kenya's first Anglican priests, while her mother was a teacher. From an early age, Orie stood out for intelligence and confidence. She attended prestigious schools including Gia Girls High School, Butere Girls, and later studied abroad in Canada, earning a diploma in public relations and administration. At just 16 years old, she made headlines by becoming the first Kenyan woman to win the Miss East African Beauty pageant in the 60s. However, she never allowed beauty to define her. She later said she entered the competition to prove that African women were just as beautiful and capable as anyone else. Orie would again make history in the 1970s by becoming the first African woman rally driver, competing in the East African Safari Rally, an event dominated by men at the time. She drove with boldness and skill, silencing critics and commanding attention, not just for her driving, but for her fierce personality. Orie Rogo married a Zambian engineer named Manduli, and it was from him that she took her now famous surname. The marriage later ended in divorce, but she kept the name and proudly raised 4 children as a single mother. Orie never shied away from politics. She was a member of Kenya African National Union (KANU) and often voiced strong opinions about governance, democracy, and women's participation in leadership. She ran unsuccessfully for parliamentary seats multiple times, but her influence extended far beyond electoral politics. In the early 2000s, she served as a chairperson of Kenya chapter of the East African Union's Economic, Social and Cultural Council. She was also a delegate at the Bomas of Kenya Constitutional Conference, where her fiery speeches and dramatic head wraps made her a household name. Her unique identity was inseparable from her fashion sense: bold African print dresses, towering headscarves, elaborate jewelry, and fierce makeup. Orie turned every public appearance into a statement of pride in African culture. She once famously said, "You must know who you are and stand firm. You must dress the part, speak the part, and walk the part." She advocated tirelessly for women's empowerment, urging women to raise up, speak up, and take their rightful places in society. She challenged male-dominated systems and was never afraid to confront those in power. Even in her later years, Orie Rogo Manduli remained outspoken. She continued attending public functions, giving interviews, and inspiring young women to own their power. She passed away peacefully at her home in Nairobi on September 8, 2021, at the age of 73. Her funeral was a celebration of color, culture, and courage, just like her life. She was buried in Kitale, where hundreds gathered to honor her life, lived with boldness and purpose. Orie Rogo Manduli's life was a masterclass in confidence, defiance, and identity. From beauty queen to rally driver, from mother to political activist, she wore many hats, literally and figuratively. She taught a generation of African women that you can be beautiful, bold, and brilliant, and all at once. Her story remains a shining example of courage, authenticity, and the power of standing up for what you believe in.